Yo, what up, though? I'm your boy, OG Tim Wilson. This is the What Up, Though Show Network. I'm sorry. I know we are a couple weeks away from the showdown, but with the showdown being gone, I miss talking sports. So I decided to bring it back. This time we're going to do it in off season. That's right. This is the off season, baby. I'm your boy. I'm your host, Tim Wilson, OG Tim Wilson. And of course, I got with me the Nasty Boys, Big Ed and Ways. Not that Big Ed knows sports, but we invited him anyway.
Know a lot more sports than you think.
That's what he always say.
He said water polo.
The water boy. He is the Bobby Boucher of the crew, of the Nasty Boys. But no, man, that's all in fun. And we here to do a little thing, man. We gonna do 5 hot topics, and we gonna keep it moving. All right.
All right.
Y'all good with that? How y'all feeling?
I'm good. Doing good. Drinking good.
I'm alive and I'm happy to be.
You know what? I'm just happy to talk sports, man. I miss talking sports. Let's do a shot real quick. All right, Big Ed.
I'm ready.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Damn, bro, I ain't hit that hard. God damn, you acting like you got kicked in the pussy.
No, I just got kicked in the dick.
Oh my goodness! All right, so I'm gonna kick it off with a subject that's normally controversial, but I'm not gonna approach it with controversy. I'm gonna approach it in fun because I've been having fun with it for most of the day. In the Southwest Fantasy Football Group, I was invited back in. And sure enough, they eventually kept trying to drag me into it. They finally got me, and they've been talking smack all week long. That is especially Chris Crisis motherfucking Gill. He's been talking all man. So I just want to say that. You know what? I just gonna say this, man. And for him and Johnny the Mechanic, I know that you ain't scared. I know you want some of this smoke. I know you want this smoke. So I'm just waiting for you. And I know it's early. It's basketball season. And I ain't going to waste my time with nobody trying to put no timeline on me or no ultimatum. I ain't playing them games. I ain't playing no games because, Chris, you work for him.
You're his lackey.
I am rolling with the boss when the bosses talk to bosses, bruh. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking orders from the doorman.
What'd you say, Chris said? Yeah, what he said.
I'm not doing that. You the DJ, bro. I'm trying to talk to the club owner right now. So look, it's all good. It's gonna go down. I don't care what he says, what they say right now. It's going down because Johnny the Mechanic, I'm chasing you. I'm after you.
I'm on your ass.
You in it? I'm in it. That's it. Period. I'm EFG and I'm EFG for life. That's it. I'm EFG, and if y'all want to be scared to take us on, say you're scared to take us on.
Gotta put an A and B on everything.
Other than that, let's rock and roll. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, we're gonna rock and roll. And when it's time to put the rubber to the road, let's put the rubber to the road. Until then, all this talk is just talk.
They seem to be really good at that.
Yeah, you know they are. That's their thing, man. It's cool though. I'm good with that. They really good at it until they can't. That's why they don't like this show. That's why they don't like me to do this. They can't talk back, and they gotta hear what I'm got to say, and they gotta hear the truth, and they can't spit their bullshit to try to combat it. They don't like that. But it's all right. It's all right. I've been kicked out the group before, and guess whose feelings got hurt? Nobody. Yo, this cancel culture vulture named Chris, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying nothing that I ain't said to your face.
Oh, he brought it personal. I didn't say it to you.
That's all I'm saying. So we'll see you when we see you. And trust me, you not gonna win because your boss can't beat me.
Hey, Chris already
They
found
said we
out this
better.
past fantasy football season. He can't beat me either.
Oh, Chris can't beat the egg. I ain't worried about him. He just the man for the South. He talk a whole lot of smack, but he all talk. That ain't worried about him. That he don't even count. He just he make me laugh though. He talk a lot. He talk some good stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I get a kick. He had me laughing all day. But the bottom line is, when it comes down to it, the boy ain't got no game.
No.
The boy ain't got no game. He's a
He
big
worse
head.
than me.
He's a big head of SWV.
Oh, they ain't even SWG no more. They SWV.
Oh, the
Nah,
Southwest
sisters with
Virgin.
voice.
Oh man, that's all I got on that. Y'all, if y'all want to add something, y'all can add something. Otherwise, we can move on. Man.
I'm just tired of people. Look, they ain't even get into me or anything like that. It's just, as a person who truly loves football, if you want to say something about football, talk football. But when all you know about football are stats, so you can take care of fantasy football stuff, you don't know how to talk football. You don't know football. You're a football fan who looks at the stats.
Right.
Let me say this, man. I don't know if you're aiming at it, Johnny the Mechanic. I'm gonna say this to Johnny the Mechanic. He didn't have a great season. Let me recap. Let me rephrase that. He had a really good season, but he lost a key player as the playoffs approached, so he didn't have a strong playoff run.
Okay.
If I had that, he'd be dogging me, but I ain't gonna dog you. I'm gonna say you lost a key player, and your playoff runs fell short because of it, and I ain't gonna discount you. I'm not saying that Johnny ain't got game. Johnny can run, but he can't beat me. That's all I got.
Only thing I got to say about it is, you say we need to stick to trading stocks and podcasting. All I got to say is thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Okay, so next topic, man. I'm gonna move on from that. It was fun. That was fun, though. That was fun, Chris. We're gonna keep it. But leave me alone. I'm hitting the hurting your feelings. You're gonna kick me out the group again.
Thanks for watching.
I don't know if y'all familiar with what's happening in Big Ten football. I know we are from Big Ten country.
I haven't heard anything though.
There's something new coming about. It hasn't been etched in stone which three it is, but every team in the Big Ten, because they're expanding, and they're expanding out to the West Coast, and this is going to be their way to bring those West Coast teams into the fold and make them all family.
Ain't there some of the Pac-12 teams that are coming in?
Yes.
UCLA.
Each team. All right. Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
go ahead.
Yeah, that ain't where I'm going. Each team is going to have 3 protected rivalry games.
Ooh.
You'll have 3 protected rivalry games. So those 3 games you play every year, and then the rest of them is all mixed up because you can't play everybody every year. So you'll play everybody once at least. You won't go 3 years without playing them. So it maybe sometimes you'll play them every other year or 3 years apart, but it won't be more than. If you play them this year, it won't be more than 2 years when you play them again.
Right.
But protected rivalries are going to happen. Your protected rivalries are going to happen. Let's talk about some schools that matter. We all know the number 1 rivalry in the country is going to be a good one. Michigan, Ohio State is a protected rivalry.
Yeah.
For me.
Michigan, right? Minnesota is one as well.
Michigan and Minnesota is very possible. However,
I know
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Okay, well let's take a school at a time. Let's take a school at a time.
Okay.
We'll go with Michigan first because Michigan is the baddest motherfuckers in the goddamn world. All right.
Well, they got 2 on lock.
What's 2?
Michigan, Ohio State, and then Michigan State.
That is true. Michigan, Ohio State, and Michigan State are on lock. A lot of people are saying Minnesota because of the brown jug.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They also have a trophy game against Northwestern. So that one comes into play. But to bring into the fold the teams that's coming out the West Coast, they are considering making Michigan USC their third game.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
that would be dope.
Yes.
They're considering making Michigan USC or Michigan UCLA.
Dynasty
those-
powerhouses face off.
That means Michigan to have 2 rivalry games that mean something.
3.
Mhm.
3.
Michigan State really that good at football?
Michigan State always means something.
All right. So look,
This is Michigan State.
Okay, so Michigan's
rivalry.
So Michigan's 3 rivalries are locked in.
Not locked in. The third one is not locked. It still comes into question. There's still some debate on that third one because you've got more than one choice. You know, you've
Right.
got Minnesota, you got Northwestern, you got USC, and you got UCLA. Because even though them and USC has had some big games, they actually played UCLA a lot more often.
okay.
Right?
But
So there's all four of them are still in the running for their
But-
third.
isn't USC ranked more often than UCLA?
Don't make them their number one rival.
Yeah, rivalry isn't based off of rank.
Don't make them their rival. It's a rivalry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who's your rival? If you play UCLA, if you commonly play UCLA and if you only played USC a few times over the years, and it's kind of lopsided, are you really rivals? It would just be good for the conference if it's USC, and that's why a lot of people would rather see USC. But UCLA is actually probably closer to a rival than UCLA than USC.
Yeah.
So that's why they're still considered. And plus, again, Northwestern and Minnesota are both trophy games
Right.
that they have to consider that as
Those
well.
trophy games are all pride games, and that's what a rivalry game really.
But those are
right.
more local. But those are more local than national.
But they're trophy games.
Yeah, there's
Right.
something at stake no matter what.
The Brown Jug with Minnesota,
Yep.
and you got the Paul Bunyan with Northwestern.
Yep.
Right? Is that the Paul Bunyan?
No,
I think
Paul Bunyan is Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Wisconsin and Minnesota is the Paul Bunyan. So they got another trophy with Northwestern. I know that's another trophy game.
Yeah. And then also here in Minnesota, you got
So we got Minnesota. Let's
Floyd
go
the
to
Pig.
Minnesota then, since he won't stay on topic. Let's go to
Over
Minnesota.
here sounding like Master P on the Breakfast Club.
You want to jump all over the map. We're trying not to jump all over the map here, Big Ed. We're trying to
you said
stay
in the Big Ten. We in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but we're trying to stay. Also said we're going to stay one team at a time.
Okay.
All right, but we
Okay.
can't do all of them because we ain't got that kind of time. But since you want to jump off, we're going to go ahead. Go to Minnesota. Minnesota and who?
Minnesota and Wisconsin, and then Minnesota and Iowa.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa. Yeah, those are 2 good ones. Who would be the third one? I think I don't know who would be the third one, because if it's not Michigan, then who? Because I would think Michigan actually would be my first choice.
Yeah.
If they decide to make Michigan's third one somebody else, who would be Minnesota's third one?
Illinois. The Illini.
I don't know. Y'all live in Minnesota. I don't know who their rivals are.
See, that game doesn't get much traction in Minnesota, so I can't
Or
really see that
Northwestern.
rivalry.
What about if they bring in somebody in from one of the other areas?
Minnesota, UCLA would probably be good.
I could see it, but I don't know.
They're in those teams that
What about Oregon?
Ooh,
Oregon, there we go.
Ducks.
Yep. Now I'm trying to. I was sitting here. I was like, "There's another team that I know." Yeah, Oregon. Oregon's the only other option in my opinion.
So here's a good one. Here's a good one that I heard today, and I think this one is virtually etched in stone. Ohio State would have Michigan, Purdue, and Penn State.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Automatically.
That's strong as acid.
Yeah, automatically. Those are their three rivals right there. Period.
That's
Bro,
the Minnesota
that's
game,
strong.
or that's the Minnesota rivalry. Penn State.
That is strong as acid.
Bro, yes, I do see that. Especially in this PJ
I
Fleck
thought
era.
Penn State, Michigan would end up being one, but that one is not being that one is not under consideration because it's not a trophy game.
Right.
They're looking at the trophy games bigger, and they're also looking at bringing in those new teams that's coming. So, Wisconsin, me and Big Ed both got Wisconsin ties, so we can mention them. I'm looking at Minnesota for sure.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they might bring Wisconsin, Nebraska.
Ooh.
Yeah. Both of them with strong running games. I could see that.
Not even just strong running games. That's the battle of the O line. Fuck.
What
That's
about
the-
Iowa? What about Wisconsin, Iowa?
Yep, that's always going to be one.
Big one. That's a big one for Wisconsin. Is Iowa?
Can't even afford to lose.
And
that
I
one.
do think that is a trophy game also.
That is a trophy game.
I just can't remember which trophy it is.
Yeah. I don't know all the trophies, but it's a big deal. In Ann Arbor, there's a bar called the Brown Jug. So if you ever come up to Michigan, we got to go to the Brown Jug.
I was just gonna say, I know where I'm drinking.
Yeah, you got to go up to the Brown Jug and check it out. I got to take you out there. It's a cool little spot. But yeah, that's I that would be interesting. I think it's a really cool concept. That they're considering, and it's growing legs.
Now, question: are they just merging the whole Pac-12 with the Big Ten?
I think most of it. I think they may as well, but I think most of the Pac-12 is already agreed.
Well, because you got all the big teams already leaving.
Yeah, I think the bulk of them have already agreed to come on in, so they may as well merge them. But I think some of them are looking to go to a different conference. But
Does that make the Big 12?
basically, the Big 12 and the Pac-12 are merging with the Big 10 or the SEC.
Right.
They're both those. It's turning into slowly but surely
Two conferences.
dissolving into the SEC versus the Big 10.
Yep.
It is slowly but surely dissolving into that.
That's how we ended up with Rutgers and Maryland. And
So Rutgers is considered. This surprised me. Michigan State has accepted Rutgers as one of their three.
ooh,
Absolutely.
So Michigan, Rutgers, and I don't know who the third one is for them yet. And I'm thinking it's going to be probably one of the West Coast teams. I don't think they have another Midwest rival.
Illinois.
That's
who?
Illinois. Michigan State cannot seem to beat Illinois to save their lives.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I
that's
don't-
weird because Illinois hasn't been good for a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think, see, because I was thinking Penn State, but they're thinking they're going to use that third rivalry game is going to be used largely to bring in those West Coast teams, to bring them into the family. That's how we bring them into the fold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We bring them into the fold by creating I think Maryland and Rutgers is going to be one.
Mm-hmm.
So Rutgers got Michigan State, Maryland, and I don't know who else. Maybe Penn State.
Maybe Penn State, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they do it, how they pair them off. but I think it's a cool freaking concept.
Really.
Yeah, it's gonna make for a lot of money for the TV
It's
station.
gonna be a cool concept because after those 3, the field is huge of who you're gonna play.
Yep.
It's a huge field of who you're gonna play after that. We no longer need non-conference games.
No.
That's true.
The conference is so big, forget about the non-conference
And
games.
the non-conference games don't mean shit anyways because it's always one team beating one team by 100 points.
That's what a lot of teams use it for, and I know Michigan has always used it for that. Get tuned up. Let's get
Exactly.
because college doesn't have a preseason. So instead of a preseason, we don't have practice games. So let's pick some easy opponents so we can see what we got, see who we are. Learn this playbook, learn this doggone offense, and see what we doing.
Yeah.
Get it together in some real time against some real competition, even though they not really tough. But we can get ourselves rolled up and get ourselves steamed up for the big boys. And then when it starts, it starts.
Yeah.
That's gonna be dope. I can't wait.
I think it's gonna be cool. So, good news for Big Ed.
What's that?
Guess what? I should have had it ready right there. It looks like the Bears have suitors for pick number 1.
Oh yeah, they've always had suitors.
At least four teams are right now already publicly showed interest in getting pick number 1 away from the Bears. There are still a lot of people out there that believe
Nope. Ain't gonna happen.
Bills ain't the guy.
Yeah, they're
Ain't
going.
gonna happen.
The Bears are trying to look for a better quarterback in Marcus Mariota. I couldn't even take myself serious on that.
That's Ways' wishful thinking
There's a
as
lot of-
Minnesota Vikings fan.
There's a lot of people that still think that the Bears that Justin Fields is not the best option for them. That the better option is Bryce Young. But I don't agree with that.
Me neither.
I mean, I actually kind of side with Big Ed on that. I do believe the best option is to, trust what you got.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's already taken NFL snaps. He's already ready. Yes, we're going to have to pay the man, but we got the cap space to do it right now. All we got to do is be smart with it and keep it and not splurge and plunge on some stupid off-season
Veteran.
free agent picks and save that money so that we can pay the man and keep our team together.
Yeah.
And
Build young.
move the first pick in a way that we can hopefully still get who we really want
Jalen Carter.
build around this to build this team. And they got suitors. They've got suitors, and many of them still got good picks out there. So the chance now, what I think is risky. Houston has stated they want to move up to number 1 from number 2,
Mm-hmm.
which is nothing.
Yeah. What's the point?
Which seems like nothing, right?
But in order to move up to the number 1 from Houston, you're gonna have to give me the number 2 and the number 12.
That ain't gonna happen. Then they're not gonna get it. You'll get number 2 and something else, but you ain't getting both of my first round picks. That don't make sense. That don't make sense to me as Houston.
No.
That don't make sense to me as Houston.
Okay.
I know you look at things from your Chicago colored eyes, but think about what makes sense.
Right.
So to both sides.
The best move for them with Houston is that number 2 pick and an offensive lineman who's proven.
But
For me-
who does Houston have as an offensive lineman that's proven?
If it's me and I'm Houston, I'm not doing it.
No.
There's no reason.
I'm not
If I'm the
doing it.
Bears,
There's no way I'm doing it because at number 2, I'm not. Now here's what's risky for the Bears. If the Bears do a pick swap with Houston, which of course they get additional picks, right?
Mhm.
They're gonna get and that's their goal, is to get additional picks.
yeah,
That way they can get a haul. They want a haul of picks for that one. The risk with Houston, which is why I don't think the Houston one is going to go, is that Houston's new head coach is who? DeMarco Ryan? And that's his name?
D'Amico Ryan.
Yeah, D'Amico Ryan.
DeMarco Ryan, the defensive coordinator from Frisco.
Yep.
So the thought is Houston want to jump Chicago so they can go ahead and get Bryce Young, get their quarterback.
Oh no.
But what if he's trying to jump them to get Will Anderson?
But see, that's the thing. Everything I've been hearing, the Bears are bigger on Jalen Carter than they are Will Anderson.
Well, my thing is, I think if that's the case, then good for them. But I still think they're. I think everybody wants Will Anderson first.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Will Anderson is going to be the first defensive player to go.
See, what I really think is going to happen though is they're going to trade with Indianapolis,
And that's very possible.
because
And
Indianapolis wants Will Levis bad.
And that's in the game. That's in play as well. Not wise for Indianapolis to me because I think they can get him at 4.
Yeah.
But see, that's wise for the Bears though, because
It's wise
and they
for the
get the
Bears.
number 4 pick, and then probably they get a second round pick because they're not in the second round right now.
Yeah, it's wise for the Bears because they'll get, and for 4, to drop the 4, you're going to get more than you would get to drop the 2 for first and foremost. You're going to get more from Indy than you're getting from Houston.
Yep.
That makes sense for the Bears because they can still get one of their top 2 choices.
Yep.
More than likely. More than likely, they'll still get one of their
No,
top 2.
actually, more than likely, they'll still get their top 2 choices. Because what I'm hearing right now is they got an offensive tackle in mind and Jalen Carter in mind.
Well, how you going to get 2 picks out of one? How you going to get 2 guys in 1 pick?
Because the offensive tackle is still going to be there in the second round.
Possibly, but if not, but the thing is, you got to think about that first pick.
Yep.
They need to think about right now. Do I still have a chance to get one of my top 2 picks? And am I concerned about which one of those picks I get?
Right.
Right.
And
Right?
and
Am I
they're
concerned
top-
about which? If I got to get my guy, if I got a guy in mind and I want my guy, what gives me the best chance to pick up additional picks and still get my guy?
that's why I think it's going to be
If
Indianapolis.
I'm giving up 1, if I'm giving up pick number 1, I want the best opportunity to ensure that I get my guy.
That's why I think it's going to be Indianapolis. Because Arizona's looking at Will Anderson. And the Bears got Will Anderson or Jalen Carter in mind.
And
And either one of them can go as their first pick.
yeah, I think Will Anderson would go to Arizona if they had the choice, if he was there for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I would not be surprised if Houston grabbed that dude. I would not be surprised.
And ride with Davis Mills.
A defensive coordinator is now your head coach.
Mhm.
Yeah. And see, that's another advantage of the
I'd be
Indianapolis pick.
surprised if he says, and you're talking about a team that rolled with Jimmy Garoppolo, who made a hell of a defense and went to the Super Bowl. So you're talking about a guy who may have possibly, I don't know this for a fact, but he could possibly have the philosophy that let's just kick everybody's ass on the defensive side of the ball. Let's make it hard for you to score on the Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just make it real hard to score against the Texans.
I can see
And
that.
go from there. I could see that being a possible way that they go because he's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because of that. So I could see that potentially being a way that they go. I would be cautious about that being a possibility if I'm one of those other teams in that top 5. And I think they are. I think they are. Yeah, well, of course they got number 2 pick. They got one of the top 2 quarterbacks sitting there. If they go that direction,
top 3,
huh?
top 3, because I'm putting Will Levis in that conversation, just because Jim Irsay wants him like he wanted Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay. All right. Well, but I'm saying they got one of the top 2 choices at quarterback. They're number 2 pick. Yeah. They don't need a third choice. No. They got one of the top 2 quarterbacks at their disposal. They got one of the top 2 quarterbacks at their disposal.
Right.
Whoever on their board is the top 2. If they go that route. And that's what everybody's got to be cautious of.
Yep. Yeah.
Because Indy's going quarterback.
Yep.
Atlanta, I don't know.
No.
I don't know that Atlanta goes quarterback. I think Atlanta might surprise everybody and not.
And ride with Ritter?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's another interesting prospect. The Raiders have been in the conversation to move up to pick one of those quarterbacks.
I haven't heard of the Raiders.
It includes the Raiders' top pick and Brandon Jacobs.
No.
Or Josh Jacobs, right?
If the Raiders do something like that, that is by far the dumbest thing they could do this offseason. You're going to get rid of your most productive player from the last couple seasons. And for what? A possible good quarterback?
It won't happen.
That's the dumbest thing they could do.
Hey, it's just something that's been floated out there on the Bears.
And I don't think they're going to go after the Bears. I don't think they're going to go after one.
No.
To move up from the Raiders spot to number 1, they got to give up. They got to mortgage their future.
Devontae has also been included in those conversations.
They got to mortgage their future. They won't give up veterans. They'll give up. They got to mortgage their future. They got to mortgage their future to do it.
Okay.
Why would I give up Devontae Adams when I'm picking to pick a quarterback? I wouldn't do that. Why would I give up the only receiver that I have?
Well, you got Hunter Renfrow.
Why would I give up one of the best receivers in the league to get a quarterback so he can throw to Hunter Renfrow?
Yeah. Because
Hunter Renfrow is not a number 1.
Yeah.
Hunter Renfrow is not a number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hunter Renfrow's got the consistency of Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, let that go. That's not going to happen. But would they give up a whole boatload of picks for it? Possible. If they
Mark
really,
Davis.
If they're really interested, they would. They got to mortgage their future for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the Bears want to trade down that low though.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because wouldn't they be going to like 19?
Boatload of picks. You get a boatload of picks, but is your GM good enough to make low picks count?
Right.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah,
though.
because that'd put them down to like 19, wouldn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's just something that's been floated out there on the Bears websites.
Yeah,
now we know where you're getting your news from.
Same place, just like you get your news from the Vikings websites.
No, I get my news from Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, NFL.com.
Yeah. Look at national reports that you get a better picture of what's really going on. So I do have a question for Big Ed before we move on to the
What's
other.
that?
Justin Fields right now is saying he wants a dome. He wants Chicago to build a dome.
Yeah.
Because he's scared to play outside in the cold. Because he's too much of a little bitch to play outside in the cold. So my question is, if he decides to hold out and say, build a dome or pay me more money, pay me now, or I want out. Do you pay him now, or do you let him roll? Do you move him?
Or do you build a dome?
Actually, plans are already in place to build a dome. So that was already.
I don't think they're building.
To me, yeah, they all the talks have been about them building an indoor
I don't
stadium.
think they're building dome.
No, they want an indoor stadium.
My question is, if Justin Fields wants out,
Then you gotta let him go.
or he want a big contract, he wants to get paid now, or he wants to get paid now, or he wants out. Do you pay the man, or do you let him go?
Carolina, you got the number 12 pick. And you got a couple defensive players that I already want. You want them? I got enough money to go get Lamar.
Lamar ain't for sale.
Shit.
Not yet. It's only rumor at the moment.
Lamar ain't for sale. But you got number one pick though.
Mm-hmm.
You do have the number one pick. You can pick your new quarterback and move him. Would you do it?
I don't see.
I'm not asking what you see.
I don't see none of the three quarterbacks as number one pick worthy.
I'm not asking what you see. I am saying you got number one pick. If your quarterback right now, if Justin Fields say, I want my money or I want out, do you trade him or do you pay him?
Oh, I trade him. I'm getting them draft picks. I'm building a team. I'm already on rebuild mode.
Yeah, but you already started to rebuild around him.
Actually, no, we haven't.
Who'd you start to rebuild around like you guys got anyone else? A coach?
He's been there 2 years. We got a new GM 1 year.
Mm-hmm. And they started rebuild for him specifically.
Who do we
Fields.
bring in?
You don't
for a
have any
rebuild?
other player on your team worth rebuilding around.
They would have to use that number one pick to pick a new quarterback.
Yeah.
That's a fact. If they move Justin Fields, that if the whole league knows the number one pick is going to be one of
But
these.
I don't see Bryce Young being that.
It don't matter who you see. I don't care. That number one pick would have to be a quarterback if they move Justin Fields.
Yes.
Then I'd have to fuck Indianapolis up and I'd have to pick Will Evans.
That's a fact. They would have to pick a quarterback at number one.
Because,
Justin Fields.
and the reason I'd pick Will Evans over CJ Stroud is Will Evans has more of an arm. CJ Stroud is still a Justin Fields type player.
Would take that number one pick and pick a quarterback and move Justin Fields if he asks for the money.
If I had to.
If he asks for the money.
Yeah, because
You don't have to. You can just pay him the money. You can just pay the man.
no.
Yeah.
Inside he go say, look, I want a long-term deal. I'm running too much. I can get hurt out here. I
Yeah,
want a long
You got to show me your arm's worth it.
No, y'all should take the logical approach. If he comes at you saying, I don't want to get hurt, I run a lot, you look him dead in his eyes and you tell him, that sounds like a you problem. You're with us or you're not.
I'm not.
Yeah, you got to prove your arm to me.
I'm
As a
not.
quarterback-
I want a long-term contract or I want out.
You got to prove your arm to me first.
How? If he holds out, how is he going to prove his arm?
You still got 2 years on your rookie deal.
You gave me Daryl Mooney,
You still got two
my number
years.
one receiver.
You still got 2 years on your rookie deal.
That's okay.
So I can sit those 2 years out. You're still gonna play.
I got a stomach ache. I can't play.
And how does that hurt you for your next team?
Don't.
Don't.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
It don't. You think it does? You crazy.
Look at Lamar Jackson's market. And he's not even confirmed to be on
The market is there for me.
Yeah.
Trust. The market is there for me. Or you're right. You're right. I'm okay. So you play hardball, then I'll play. And the first time I get nicked, I'm out for the season, just like Lamar Jackson did. And does that hurt my stat? Nope.
To me, it
Nope.
does.
You think so? How did it work out for Lamar Jackson?
You got
think
a contract?
if you think Lamar Jackson, do you right now think if Baltimore just say we don't want you, we're gonna let you go? There's not a market for Lamar Jackson. Did it hurt his stock at all?
But what if?
You think they can just? You think
we're
they?
talking about what ifs?
I'm asking you. Do you think they can just play the game of say, go out there and see what you're worth and see if you can get that, if you can get what you're asking for? Do you think they can play that game with Lamar?
Actually, yeah.
No, they'll lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They will lose it.
Okay.
It's period. Like,
If you
they will lose it.
let's put it
They
like
play that game. Not only will he be gone, he might be gone to Pittsburgh, and you got to play him 2 times a year now.
but
It won't take long for him to get scooped up on the market. If he's on the market, he's gone. Forget about it. Say goodbye.
think about
But
it
see,
like
the thing
this: with
about
Justin
Lamar is
Fields
he's
in
got
the
an
market.
arm. Lamar's got an arm, a proven arm.
Okay,
Justin don't.
because Justin hasn't had a quarterback or a coach who can help him prove that arm.
How did Jalen Hurts prove he had an arm? You want me to answer that for you? Got AJ Brown. So you give me Daryl Mooney and tell me I ain't got an arm? Okay, then let me go.
Mhm.
You see how that work out for you?
And there's no saying you can't say there's no market for
Now,
Fields.
hey,
No, just let me go. Let me go. See how that works. You're okay. No, I'm just asking. You would be okay if they said, "Yep, let him go, trade him out. Let's go. We're gonna pick Bryce Young or one of these other guys."
that actually brings up another draft trade opportunity for the Bears.
Go ahead.
Do you trade that first pick for Arizona's first round pick, DeAndre Hopkins, and probably their third or fourth?
You're not getting D-Hop. Cleveland is. If any team gets D-Hop, it's Cleveland. No other team in this league has a chance.
Okay, who's Cleveland going to trade?
That doesn't matter. We're talking
Don't
about
matter.
the Bears.
D-Hop want to stay where he's at, or he want to go with Deshaun?
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
that's definitely no.
Yeah. There's no way.
That's definitely no.
Okay, it's just something that was brought up. So
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna move. We're gonna say this and we're gonna move on because we always get stuck on this because I like to fuck with Big Ed about the Bears. But so you say if Justin Fields won out or he won his money, you don't pay the man, you let him go. You're moving.
you have to roll Quan
Right.
Swenson.
I didn't say that. I asked you the yes or no question.
It's the same thing.
If
You're gonna have to roll Quan
Justin Fields-
Swenson. Hey, you gotta go. Cause I need either these. I gotta either have these picks or this money
How
to
did
replace.
that work out? How did that work out for you? Okay.
got a
Okay.
third-
Anyway,
A third and a
Moving
fourth
on.
for him?
Eric Bieniemy is now the offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders,
And they let go of
And-
Carson Wentz.
and they let go of Carson Wentz, but that's not news. Eric Bieniemy is now the offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. Going with Howell as his quarterback, allegedly. Likes him, likes what he sees there, and that's who he wants to roll with. Had to address a comment made by Shady McCoy.
Uh-oh.
Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, what? No.
Shady McCoy came out and said, Eric Bieniemy ain't proved nothing, man. If anything that had to do with the quarterback came from Andy Reid. He was basically a running backs coach. He didn't run that offense, and he's going to fail.
I really hate to say this, but I absolutely agree. Because you look at the track record, Andy Reid has done nothing but have success or make and help out making successful quarterbacks.
Well,
None of
on
his quarterbacks have been successful without a running game.
fair enough. On the other hand, though, contrary to that, is that people did step up, because a lot of times you hear criticism and nobody steps up, and that's when you always say, how come nobody's standing up for this guy? But somebody immediately stepped up, and that was a previous running back before Shady McCoy, who was there with Shady McCoy. He said, and I'm sorry for his name skipping me, but he came straight out and said, Shady is just mad because he made you tuck that ball, and Shady liked to hold the ball out. Shady liked to
Oh,
hold the
man.
ball out away from his body. He was fourth. He made you tuck that ball. We had our best years under Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy ran that offense. Eric Bieniemy knew what he was doing. He's going to have success. Eric Bieniemy himself had a press conference, and I have to ask before I even mention anything that was said at his press conference. When's the last time you heard an offensive coordinator have a press conference?
Damn. Yo, that came in like a heat-seeking missile because I ain't never heard of that.
I actually have.
Who?
Luke
Who?
Getz.
When the last time somebody got hired as a new offensive coordinator?
Well, not
and
when
had
they
a
got
press
hired. Not when they got hired. But Luke gets few press conferences this year that I've seen.
conference? Who is Luke Getz?
Offensive coordinator for the Bears.
That's why he's hurt.
That on Bears radio? They just put on Bears TV? I'm talking about a nationally televised press conference.
No, they were actually on the NFL TV. NFL Network.
You only heard of it because it was the Bears.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Oh, no, because they had a lot of questions to answer for how Justin Fields was playing this year. So they had a lot of press conferences that were on the NFL Network this year.
Yeah, I don't recall press conferences for the incoming offensive coordinator to have a press conference.
Not incoming.
Certainly don't remember. I certainly don't remember anybody on the national scale caring about the offense coordinator of the Bears. A team that's got the first pick in the draft.
That's actually the reason why they've had those press conferences.
Yeah, because there's nobody else to talk to. Like everybody else is hiding from the cameras. But yeah, so he had a press conference. They asked him about it, and he took the high road. He answered their questions without answering their questions. He answered their questions and told them nothing. It was so well done. It was like a lot of times you hear a guy speak, and you say, "See, that's why he's never been hired as a head coach." But if you watch this press conference, you'll say, how come this guy isn't a head coach? How did he? You're telling me that this is him basically doing an interview for the public, and you're telling me he interviews bad and all of these doggone opportunities he's had, and nobody's hired this guy? Because he basically said, he took the high road. He said, LaShawn McCoy is a future Hall of Famer, man. He's got the right to his opinion, and anything that he feels that is the way he sees it, that's perfectly fine. He's got the right to that opinion. I don't know why we're even addressing that. Future Hall of Famer. Let the man speak. He speak his piece. Next question. Basically, and he just rolled on. He did it well. He came in, he was suited and booted, and he handled it like a head coach. He handled it like a head coach would handle it. It was so smooth. It was incredible.
He should be a head coach.
It made you say, how is this guy not a head coach?
He should be a head coach by now.
I was waiting to hear him talk and say, and get in my mind say, see, that's the problem right there. Didn't see it. I didn't see it. Since you guys didn't see it, I'm gonna move on, man. I'm gonna move right along.
No, I didn't see it. So
last topic.
Okay.
Brandon Miller. We talked about it last week on the What Up Though show. He's been let off the hook. I don't know if you heard the latest. He is off the hook. It has been determined in a court of law that he did not break the law. He played and he is back to playing basketball.
Hold on now. You give your registered gun to somebody who isn't licensed to have a pistol. He shoots somebody with your pistol, but you're not able to be.
That's because your facts are all fucked up. Your facts are wrong.
Okay.
Now, and I will say this: he did an ill-advised celebration that he used to do, and now he needs to stop doing because now it's ill-advised. It was fun at first. He used to get patted down, want somebody to pat him down as a celebration. Don't do that no more, bar.
No.
Don't do that no more. It's no longer. It's not cute now. Not now. He is still looked at as a key witness, but I've gotten more information about what actually happened.
Okay.
The gun was not his.
Oh, it wasn't?
The gun was not his. The gun belonged to Darius Miles. They and a third party. There's a third person in this. The three of them went to the club together.
Mm-hmm.
The line was long, all the way wrapped around the building. We've all been there, right? Been to the club and it's packed out, the long line. And Brandon Miller said, "I'm not dealing with it. Text me when y'all ready to go, and I'll come back and pick y'all up."
Right.
And he boned out and went back to the crib. He got a text when it was time for them to go from Darius saying, "Come scoop us up and bring my joint with you."
Okay.
Right? So he rolled back up to the spot. Darius Miles went in and got his gun. It was Darius Miles' gun.
Okay.
He got his gun. Brandon didn't touch it in this case at the scene. Brandon went into the car, grabbed his piece, and gave it to the third party person. And he's the one.
So Darius ain't even the one that shot.
No. But Darius is the one that gave his gun to the shooter.
Okay.
That's why Darius is the one that's in trouble and not Brandon.
I'm glad that got cleared up.
Yeah.
Darius and the shooter are both in trouble, but Brandon is not. He was on the scene though. He was close enough for him to get bullet holes in his car.
Right. I'm glad that got cleared up.
Yeah.
But yes, there was a third person that was the shooter.
Okay.
And Darius Miles gave his gun to the shooter.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why Brandon Miller reported the incident to the cops. So he basically
Now see, that never came out. You know, that didn't come out at first. That Brandon Miller was the one that called the police, and
yeah, so he basically ratted his boys out, but he did go to the cops with it, and
good
so
shit.
He's been looked at as a cooperating witness and not a participant in the crime.
Okay, that's good.
That's actually a better narrative.
And therefore, that is why he is still able to continue to play basketball.
That's actually a better narrative than what's going on in the news right now. Than what has been out there. Because that actually helps us get rid of this stop snitching culture.
Well, yeah.
Because I ain't gonna lie, if I see somebody, shit, like the other night, somebody let off a shot in the alley over here. Shit, my wife called the cops right away.
Yeah. I get that. I get it.
Yeah.
But it's your boy.
Oh, fuck that. My life more important than my boys. I'm not finna give up my life for my boy.
I will only protect my kids like that, and that's it.
I'm sorry. If I didn't do shit and my boy did some shit and I'm brought into the shit, hell no. Hey, I'm not taking that blame for you.
And in a case like this, I'm not even sorry. I'm about to be a top 5 pick in the NBA.
Exactly.
You ain't about to fuck up my money.
Hell no. Hell no.
That ain't good for either one of us.
Fuck stop this.
You going to the joint. So at least I can, as your boy, I can still drop you some cash in the commissary because if I go in there with you, we both screwed.
Yep.
At least this way, one of us got some loot.
I ain't gonna. I'm sorry, but
And
hey,
if you ever get out, maybe I'm making enough to take care of you. Put you on your feet right away.
look,
Get
my dad once told me 3 people can get away with a crime if 2 of them is dead.
Yeah,
Because
well,
somebody always gonna tell.
I ain't going there.
Oh,
but
I'll touch it.
I ain't going there with you. Bro. I ain't going there with you. Don't even finish that. Don't even finish that story. I ain't going there. You know what? That is topic number 5, man. And I want to thank y'all. This is the off season, man. We gonna get out of here. We ain't trying to drag nothing on. Of course, if I bring up the Bears, it drags on a little bit. I gotta give Big Ed some props though.
What's that?
I expected you to say, no, I'm not trading Justin Fields. And he was willing to trade Justin Fields if Justin Fields say he wants his money. So at one point, I still think it's wrong, but at least it's consistent. That said, man, I want to thank y'all for joining us right here on the off season. I hope y'all can catch us next week. We're going to have 5 new topics, and maybe we can keep it a little shorter than we did tonight. Maybe not. I don't know. Where the conversation goes, where the conversation goes. But we only going to do 5 topics no matter what. I don't care if it's 10 topics to talk about. We only going to talk about 5. That's our 5. I want to thank y'all for joining us. I'm your boy, OG Tim Wilson. This the crew, Big Ed and Ways. And we out of here like last year.